Good morning, truth. We live in a culture where success and influential status is measured by numbers, dollars, and cents. So this morning, I want to review the numbers generated by the Holy Bible. The annual sales figures for the Bible averages between $425 and $650 million year after year after year, consistently dwarfing the sales of all other books. Because the Bible is consistently the best-selling book, it's no longer even listed on the bestsellers list, because the bestsellers list is only interesting if the top spot is up for grabs. Let me tell you something about the Bible. In every area in which it can be checked out historically, culturally, geographically, and scientifically, it has been verified as factual. And that's by non-biblical sources. The Bible is full of information covering the history of the Jews and other ancient civilizations, as well as early Christianity. It presents unique and invaluable information concerning customs, languages, cultures, ethics, and religion of all Western civilization. The lack of understanding the preservation prompts disbelief in many. The preservation of the Bible was done in a thorough and sacred manner. This concept is so hard to grasp because we live in a world where dedication to anything is almost obsolete and integrity is dismissed, especially if it requires one to be inconvenienced in any way. The original Bible manuscripts were called autographs and were written on materials such as papyrus, which deteriorated quickly. Consequently, scribes were needed to copy and recopy the Old Testament books letter by letter. These copyists knew that they were copying the Word of God, so they committed themselves to operate with excellence and integrity. Because of their diligence, the Old Testament in our Bible today is virtually identical to the autographs written over 2,000 years ago. Bible scholars have demonstrated this by comparing ancient copies of the Bible with more recent copies. For example, prior to one of the most important manuscripts discovered were 2 copies of the book of Isaiah. Old Testament scholar Gleason Archer had this to say about what they found. He said, even though the 2 copies of Isaiah discovered in the Qum cave and near the Dead Sea in 1947 were 1,000 years apart in their writings, that they were identical 95% of the text, and that only the 5% of variation consistent, chiefly because of obvious slips of the pen and variations in spelling. The largest opposition to the Bible comes from those who want to deem the Bible as antiquated, outdated, or only befitting for biblical times. The beauty of the Bible is that it transcends time, regardless of today's trends. God's morals, standards, and principles and commandments are not only applicable, but are engraved in our conscience. Even when we go against biblical principles, we do so with a subconscious that is not completely dismissive of the Word of God. The problem most have with the Bible is it sets boundaries, and most want to live free to do what they want. But the desire to live free without boundaries is of a selfish mindset, because none of us would be pleased if each individual were allowed to be free to set their own standard without consideration for others. The Bible just puts the standards in place to protect all, regardless of race, creed, color, gender, or the era in which one lives. Isaiah 48 tells us, the grass withers, the flowers fade, but the word of God will stand forever. Remember, when you start your day with truth, blessings throughout the remainder of the day is inevitable.
Our theme music is composed by Darren J. Ross and can be purchased at iTunes.